So I have stress-induced chest pains, and I've had it for the past like 3 days or so. Something ridiculous happened. Um, so I didn't really get dressed up or anything, and I didn't put any makeup on except for this lip gloss from Halika. That was it. Um, so sorry for my appearance. I didn't really fix my wig or anything, but it's okay. Um, I wanted to clarify because a lot of people are saying things like, Mama, see, Momokun and all these evil female cosplayers are taking advantage of us men and we're victims. Bada 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 bada. Momokun wouldn't exist if her neckbeards weren't funding her money through Patreon. Like, she just wouldn't exist. Like, she just would not be a thing. Especially since that's her main source of money. Like, the girl would not be, she just wouldn't exist. She wouldn't be a thing. We wouldn't be hearing about her. It was y'all's choice to support a person that you knew was a bad person, but because you wanted to sexually exploit their image, by interacting with them, sexually exploiting themselves, you chose that. There's a difference between like someone just... Let me explain. Sex work is perfectly fine. Now, I am a supporter of people choosing, emphasis on choosing, to be in sex work. The thing is, with people like Momokun, for the longest time, she didn't want to admit that she does sex work, which most of the Patreon Cost Thoughts community don't want to admit that it is just sex work. Like, they're in bikinis with their booty hole on the verge of showing like it's sex work, which is why I appreciate the cosplayers that do that stuff, that say, yeah, there's a strong difference between me cosplaying and doing it in a sexual way than some 10-year-old girl at her first anime con. Like, we're not in the same category when it comes to cosplay. Japan doesn't have this issue because they just call it what it is. They call it porn cosplay or erotic cosplay. But so many of them find shame in just saying that they're sex workers, which inherently is shaming sex workers. But then when you tell them what they're doing, then they say that you're shaming sex workers, even though they've been the only ones shaming sex workers. It's a mess. My point is, you chose to support this person, and you choose to continue to just support this person. The amount of neckbeards that are saying, I know she's terrible, but porn, man. Like, no, you made that decision. You made that choice. In the era to which we have free porn all over the internet, I don't see why you need to shove money at some girl who's heavily photoshopped and lied about lipo, then admitted it, then lied about it again on Patreon. I don't see how that is necessary whatsoever. It's not 1972 where you have to sneak your porn in a little paper bag and crap. Like, no, it's fairly accessible. Most of us has been exposed to it whether we wanted to or not because pop-ups exist. Like, no. There's really no excuse to continue to support this person. And it's some incel rhetoric to say that you are a victim of female cosplayers, especially since Momokun does not represent all female cosplayers. I am nothing like Momokun. Not even a little bit, not even a tiny bit. There's nothing about me that is anywhere near close to that racist sack of trash. I am nowhere near that girl. Even in outfits that are more revealing, like in the future cosplaying Riku from FF10 that still would just be me cosplaying, that would not be pornographic, that would not be sexual in any form of the way. It would be me dressing up as a character. It's not porn to dress up as a character, and we already have enough issues of people on the outside seeing cosplay and thinking that it's automatically some sort of fetish and it's automatically porn, and that's not true. No one should have to be exposed to automatically being categorized as porn just because there's a handful of people that do porn and don't admit that it's porn and just says that that's what cosplay is. It's not fair. Like, not even a little bit. And some neckbeard on Twitter, I don't use Twitter anymore. I can't take it. had gotten angry at me because I had pointed out that no, you can't just call it just cosplay because people are going to think that cosplay is porn, and it's not acceptable, not even a little bit. My 11-year-old self should not be placed in the same category as something pornographic. And I'm going to repeat myself again. There is nothing wrong with doing porn, not even a little bit, not even a tiny bit. That was your life choice, and that is what you wanted to do. That is your choice, and I respect that choice, and it is a valid career/job. It is something that you do in order to sustain yourself, and that is perfectly okay. What isn't okay is denying that you do it, because again, inherently it's demonizing sex workers, and 2, it's grouping people in categories that they don't belong in, like at all, and that they may be uncomfortable with being categorized in. And people are allowed to be uncomfortable with being categorized into something sexual that they didn't sign up for. And I hope most people notice that this is happening a lot with female cosplayers, and female cosplayers are being dragged and hypersexualized the most. It happens with men too. I've seen it before, but when it comes to female cosplayers, the littlest thing we do, we are automatically being hypersexualized and demonized and saying that we're just preying on men when that's not true. Especially since I'm the kind of person that, like, with my music-wise, image-wise, things that I carry, I want to talk about, my main demographic that I would be trying to appeal to would be other girls in my age group and younger. It has nothing to do with dudes, like at all. Because surprisingly, females do not do everything just to get the attention of men. I know, it's shocking. Who would have thought? But yeah, when I go to an anime convention or to Comic-Con or whatever, I get dressed as a character that I like and that I enjoy. And that's it. That's the only motivation behind it. It has nothing to do with, I hope guys ask for my picture. I hope guys like me. I better save my Patreon URL and put it on little business cards to make sure that guys go to my Patreon and find my Patreon. Like, no. Not everyone, that's not anything. And the people that are respectable and admit, yeah, they do sex work, and yeah, this is what this Patreon is for, those people have said 1,000 times that what I just said just now, but what I just said just now is going to have me being called someone that hates sex workers, because a lot of men believe that because they like having sex with women, it means that they care about women, and that's not the same thing. Like at all. It's not even close. Not even a little bit. All because you like having sex with women doesn't mean that you love women. That's not the same thing. Momokun and other people like her. I have a list. I'm not going to call any names, but there are people that are like her that are bashing her right now, but didn't mind her before and is only doing it because people like Susu and like Bunny and all those other cosplayers like K-Bear and stuff are talking about this situation, and they want to be on the winning team, the loudest team. It's not that they actually care about females and their safety and other nonsense, because if this wasn't as loud as it was, I guarantee you that some of the people that claim that they care about this situation wouldn't have cared about the situation. I know because I saw it, because beforehand when people that weren't big names like them were saying, dude, she likes to go around touching people, everyone was like, you're shaming sex workers, you're just a prude. But for some reason, the West Coast, y'all got a lot of issues with your cosplayers. Anyway, they are not a representation of female cosplayers. I am nothing like them. I'm sure other girls watching this are nothing like them. This is the problem with fandom mentality and with online community mentality. Things are not just a monolith. Like, that's not how the world functions. I know. Shocking. And you are not a victim of anything. The only victims in this situation are the people that Momokun ran around touching. And then she's still blaming them for the fact that she touched them. You are not a victim. Stop trying to make yourself a victim. Go back on incel.me where they'll understand you. I don't want to see any of that. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna lay it. I'm not gonna interact with it. I'm not gonna do it. And if it gets too bad, I'm gonna delete it because I'm not interested. I don't care about your fifis, about how some Stacy cosplayed and broke my heart. No one's taking advantage of you. Capitalism exists, yeah, but a female getting into cosplay and deciding to fund her cosplay through Patreon, whether it be pornographic or whether it be just regular cosplay, not victimizing you. Honey, I can guarantee you I could tell you 1,000 times more problems that I've had to deal with and I'm dealing with right now that's going to be far more detrimental than the fact that some woman put on some cosplay and you paid for her to continue to put on cosplay. You paid for it. No one is exploiting you. You paid for it and wanted it to continue. You are no victim. That's it.